Good morning, Life Support family. All right. Okay, this morning I would like to kind of chime in on achieving better results as leaders. This have been a little challenge for me since LaDusta have kind of pushed me into my role of being a team leader. So I want to kind of touch on that. Leading can be a tough task at times, especially when you're walking into a new leadership position. From the outside looking in, it can appear to be a smooth task, but most people will agree that there is a big difference between perception, theory, and practice. So let's kind of talk about that a little bit this morning. Okay, as we go into this new year, there are things that we may want to continue to do, and of course, there will be some things that we definitely may need to change. Either way, in reality, as leaders, we are judged by results. So, what can we do to achieve better results as leaders this upcoming year? And I just wanted to kind of get some feedback from you all to kind of to see what y'all think for in y'all departments. So we'll start with you, Scott.
Well, do you want me to read what we have here?
I'm gonna read that, but I want to
Okay.
kind of see just kind of from your position, your standpoint, because I know you're kind of walking into a new leadership position.
Yeah, I think actually the three things you have on this list I'm really interested about.
Okay.
So let's read that and then we'll kind of chime in afterwards. But I think you've done a really good job here.
Okay. Okay. Well, first thing, I think that we should be clear about what is expected of us, and so many leaders lack a real clarity on what is expected of them in terms of results. I remember in the past when we were asked about expectations, we would pull out like this lengthy job description, and it would basically say a lot of activities and things that are expected of us, but it had very little about results. During this class, working with LaDusta, she implemented the KRAs, or was it Scott? But we implemented KRAs. Yeah. So as leaders at LSS, we can go into this new year understanding our expectations to get great results throughout the year. And the KRAs, I think for me, it gave me a better understanding of my responsibilities, my duties, just what I'm expected to do as a leader in customer service. So been excited working with Pam and the rest of the team on my KRA. Okay, what are three top results we expect to deliver in the next 12 months? For me, being a leader, I'm expecting to have 12 months from this January. I'm expected to have better organizational skills, getting organized, which I think Robert kind of touched on that a few weeks ago. It's very important for me to be successful in my position. So that's one of mine. And managing my time better, limiting just things that are not causing me to be productive in my daily duties and activities. I have to limit those or cut them out completely. And planning ahead. I have to plan ahead. If it's a sticky note or organizational, I have to get organized and make sure that I'm planning ahead. So what are maybe three things, one or two things that you expect to deliver in the next 12 months?
Well, there's a couple things that I'd like to see from our direction. A lot of things we've already seen implemented, and Yoli, you're a big part of that and what you're doing here. But it is generally to increase the number of leaders that we have at Life Support. And then secondly, to increase profit, and thirdly, to better organize the way that the company's run. And of course, that's not going to be done from my desk as much as it is that we're going to encourage and to train. And then to see Yoli and the rest of the leaders do what they've been doing is amazing. So a lot of those things that we've done a good job with up to this point. But looking into the next year, I would love to see life support systems have an emergency fund, like we encourage all of us to do. Right now, we operate off of a baby emergency fund, which is, kind of a, without giving exact dollar amounts, would be equivalent to having $1,000 in emergency fund for our individuals. But we want to work towards having 3 months.
Wow.
And I don't know if we're going to attain it this next year. But if there is the first year that we can actually push for and actually achieve it, this is going to be the year that I think that we are going to be able to do that. And Modesta's shaking her head. I mean, when you look at all the little pieces, parts that have to be in place to make that happen, we have them. Turnover's the lowest it's ever been. Debt's lower than it's ever been. Revenue's starting to come back up. We have people in some amazing places. We don't have a new team anymore. We have a competent team, and so I think 2016 is going to be very excited for us. And so the other thing is, as part of that emergency fund, from our end, I'd like to see us plan ahead for expenses that we know come up every year. So one of the things that Dave Ramsey says is Christmas should never be a surprise. And it should never be an emergency because it comes up every year. Well, the same thing on the business side of things. Taxes shouldn't be a surprise. Deductible season shouldn't be a surprise. And so I would like to see the company get to where we can start putting aside money every week towards those things and still grow with cash, which we've done now for 2 years. So I don't want to take up all the time. So those are things that have kind of been, and I've got more on that list, but we'll let others talk for a while.
Okay, excited about that.
You stole mine.
I know, right?
Okay, so for me, getting our value statements in place is something really big that we need to do first thing in this year. I mean, we've talked about a few that we want to kind of play with and that we think are true to us, like we positively bring the energy is one that we've talked about, and we communicate like pros. There's a few others that we've kind of played with, but we haven't really fleshed them out. So that's one thing that I want to get done at the beginning of the year. KRAs is definitely something that we've been working on, but I want to push it out through the whole company. And this next month, that's something that we want to get for every single position in the company. Because you're right, setting the expectations and being clear about expectations is very important to us being successful.
So do you want to define what a KRA is real quick for those that...
Yes. So KRAs are key results areas. It's like a very condensed job description. And it's as Dave Ramsey's group says, a map to success. It tells exactly what is expected of the position, and it goes over the goals for the position. So for our billers, keeping your unbilled under 2,500 or 4,000 each week is a goal. For our collectors, they have weekly and monthly goals that they have to meet on collections. For routing and ops, you have to get setups done in less than 2 hours from the time they come in the door until the time you deliver. We have goals all through the company, and we're pretty clear about them, but to actually have it in writing. And so everyone knows ahead of time, this is exactly what's expected of me. This is what I do to be successful in this position. So that's something that is a priority, definitely. Sheep is something that's big on my list. Servants' hearts, encouraging and empowering people. So that's our goal, to get random acts of kindness and the positive energy that we have in the company out into the community. And we're going to talk more about that next week. Getting our BHAGs in writing. What our big, hairy, audacious goals are. So our big goals for the goals that are our Mount Everest. What are going to be our big goals? And what we want to do is sit down, and Scott and I are going to sit down and define those goals and then put steps in place between now and when we think we can hit that goal that will get us there. So anytime you do a goal, you want to have those little steps in place to make you successful. Like losing 20 pounds in 6 weeks. You've got to know exactly how many pounds you have to lose per week and how many calories it takes to lose that, and that kind of thing. So those are good examples of goals that a lot of people have right now, and it's going to make the gym really crowded for the next few weeks.
Right.
So those are my big ones that I want to get done, and I probably have a lot more, but I'm like, Scott, I don't want to take up all the time. So Robert.
I'll take up more majority of the time.
Sure.
Well, Yoli and I were talking yesterday a little bit about her meeting and about ideas, and one thing I want to be better at in the next 12 months is actually implementing what we've been learning this entire year, because now I'm in that position to do so. And so taking everything we've learned, and now it's not just taking it upon myself and where I was back then in repair, and it's in a wider range now. And so it's going to be challenging, like we've talked about, but it's going to be fun, and I'm excited. So I'm really going to take to heart everything we've learned, and I think maybe that's why I've kept them all to review.
That's why I gave them to you.
But for this new year, not just learn like we've done all year, but put it into practice each week, each day, each month. The other thing I think for me now is to be on point with my day-to-day activities. I'm learning all these new things, and when I see Scott walking back to my office and with papers in his hand, I'm like, oh.
Nicely and lovingly and in a team effort.
So I use that phrase a lot, to be on point. And so I'm not on point right now, and that's going to be, for the next coming year, I want to be on point with my day-to-day for sure. So those were a couple of things I want to start for the next year. The end.
Well, and I want to also comment on Robert's commitment to excellence when he talks about on point, because for those that may not know or may not understand the backstory, when he talks about having to go back and redo some of this work, we average about 600 to 700 work orders a week. And so when he talks about bringing work orders back, it's like 2. And so, and now I don't want to, we shoot for perfection. We're not perfectionists, but that's our goal, is always, always, always as perfect as we can possibly make things. And so when Robert's given himself a goal to, not have paperwork come back, right now our error rate is about 1/10%. So for most companies that would ever watch this, we're already obtaining what most people don't, but we want 100%. So I just felt like I need to define that for Robert, that it's truly, we're performing well.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. I want to elaborate too on the leadership, us putting it into practice. That was another one of mine, is I want to get this leadership training out to the rest of the company. We've slowly rolled it out with the first group, and we've started the second group. Now we need to get the rest of the company in on it and really start pushing this out to the rest of the group. And I think everybody's kind of excited to get in here and learn some of this stuff. So I'm excited to get it started. We just got to decide how we're going to implement that, and me still have time to do other things.
Well, I tell you how we're going to do it.
Yes.
This is why we're practicing and doing this. And by the way, this is excellent. You've done an amazing job. And number 2, this is how we roll it out to the rest of the team. And as we grow to 400 team members, this is how we do it.
We pass the torch.
We pass the torch. And we're going to keep you all fed and happy and motivated. And then you're going to go keep your teams happy and fed and motivated. And it's going to be amazing.
Cool.
Sophia?
Well, my expectation for next year would probably be more motivation, because without the motivation, you wouldn't be able to go ahead and push yourself to get to that expectation or your goals. So that would be one thing. Also, to go ahead and just build new goals, something that we haven't achieved in the past. That'll actually build, either start a new trend or open up an opportunity which we've never seen before. So that would probably be another one, and just taking the torch a little bit higher and just passing it on. That'd probably be good.
Good job.
Daniel, cameraman.
Is it my turn?
It's your
Selfie.
turn. Turn it around. Scott will take this.
I don't know. That's kind of a tough thing to pick. It's almost like doing some New Year's resolutions.
Give me one.
I think that for me, becoming and staying more organized with just everything that's going on over there is a big one on my list, as well as cross training with all my team members and just kind of figuring out more, getting a better understanding of what everybody does, and that way I feel like I'll be able to help them more. If they have any questions or if there are any issues or anything like that, they need to come to me for. And I haven't had the time to do that recently, but now that I have a full team, I should hopefully be able to do that. I don't know. I think that staying organized, getting some cross training, and then just applying what we've learned here even more are really my top three. So.
Awesome. And I think all of these things that we have mentioned is going to definitely take us to the next level. So I'm excited. Okay, of course, one of mine was time. So my next topic is tracking how our time is spent. That's a big one for me. So we often talk about constraints or limitations, and time can be one of our ultimate constraints. And I know we often pray that there are more time in a workday, more hours in a workday. One way to help with this is to develop a routine or a system for our typical workday. I know a few months back, I think you gave us like a worksheet for us to kind of track our time for a whole week, and when we took notice to that, I noticed personally that a lot of my time I was spending a lot of my time doing things that was I wasn't productive in my day. If it was someone stopping by or going to get coffee, get caught up in there a few minutes too long. So a lot of things I have kind of cut back on and monitor my time on. When we did this, a lot of our team members had mentioned that it gave us the opportunity to point out some common patterns. It also gave us the opportunity to become more productive, which by now I think, at least for me, I have seen some results. I'm getting more done. I have like my duties and my tasks are broke down into like different folders, and all of my folders are just about empty, which is like amazing because usually they're full as I'm working them throughout the day. But as of today, they're pretty much empty. So that's like a huge relief for me when I come in every morning. I'm coming in running, but it's a good run. And the third thing, aim to be the best version of you in this upcoming year. And I think we're all unique individuals, and as leaders in our own way. Yet I think there's still opportunity for us to learn from one another. And but at the same time, never lose that individuality, that makeup, who God has made us to be. So I wanted to kind of just think about what do I want to be known for as a leader, be it at home, work, personal life. And I think when we answer this question, it'll help give us clarity about being the best version of you, the best version that I can be. So for me, when I think of myself as a leader, I think about my kids. When they see me as mom, I remember one time when they were little, they were like, Mom, I know you're going to heaven because of what I put before them. I was a good leader, a good mom, and they saw perfectionist or just love. And so even though, that made me feel good as a leader. And even here at work, I love it that my team or my peers can come to me, confide in me, and just trust me with situations, be it work or personal. And so that makes me feel good as a leader and as a person. So I was just another question. I just kind of want to know what, and everybody don't have to answer this, what do you want to be known as when you think of as yourself being a leader? What do you want to be known as?
That's a good question. Forgot about it. I want to be respected. I think of different leaders and different aspects of life and jobs and sports, taking it back to sports. Being respected goes a long way. Sometimes you ask things of people, and they don't want to do it, but they're going to do it because they respect you and they trust in you. And I think for me in this new role that I'm in, you may not even have to like me, but maybe you can respect me, but I want you to like me. So for me, I think that's my goal, is to be respected. And I think to be respected, you have to be consistent and understanding and fair. And so that's it for me, to be respected.
I guess for me, I would say I want to be a mentor. That's something that's important to me, being able to mentor other people in the group and add value to their life and to their day by giving them sound advice and showing them how to be better people and better leaders. That's really important. Being respected, of course, is part of that. Being trusted is really important, because I think that's something in the past that was difficult here, was for people to trust leadership. And it's something that's no longer an issue. And I really value that, and I want to continue that into the future. Y'all teased me that one time because on my box questions I said that I wanted to be charismatic and energetic, and you're like, you are those things. I'm like, no. I'm a walking zombie most days. But definitely being more charismatic, being more outgoing. I've been pushing myself a lot with that lately, with the Periscope and with YouTube and getting out and speaking, and found myself reaching for goals I didn't know I had. So I want to encourage other people to do that too. Reach outside of themselves and be bigger than they ever thought they could be, in ways they never thought that they could be. So those are definitely important ways I want to be a leader.
I think I would want to be known as reliable and confident, because I know sometimes we all make mistakes, but I want them to know that they can rely on me to help them and to always come to me in anything. And I just want to just go ahead and let them know that they're doing okay regardless of what they feel about that day. So
Let them borrow your faith.
What little I have sometimes.
You've got plenty. I've
But
got
yes.
plenty. You borrow mine. So.
Yes.
I think I would like to inspire confidence in others. I think that's a big thing to do, because when you do that, you give other people the confidence to take care of whatever they need to take care of. You give them the ability to do that kind of stuff. So I think that's kind of what I want to.
And you do that. You're always so calm and just
Structured. I see you like, I was telling Augusto a while back, I see you like a 500 Fortune guy just sitting in a big old office just because of your tone of your voice. I don't know. So, yeah.
Look at his smile.
That's me.
500 fortune guy.
Yes.
What about you, Scott?
Well, I honestly, I think what actually really makes me excited is to achieve things that everybody says you can't achieve. And like, the more people say, no, that'll never happen, you can't do that, that really is what motivates me. And so, and not only that, but one thing that I've learned over the years, especially with this leadership thing, is it used to just be, okay, I'm going to push through this thing as hard and as fast as I possibly can, and I'm going to get this unachievable thing done. And what I've learned is that you can't do that, right? I mean, you can if you're running, I guess, a little race by yourself, but what is required here is a team. And so a big part of what motivates me now is to teach others and to encourage others that whatever you think is impossible, it is not. So let's make a BHAG and let's go and achieve that thing. And I think the more BHAGs that we achieve as a company and as a team will really, it'll give us that type of encouragement and inspiration that most teams won't have, because we've seen it happen. And we've seen ourselves achieve things that everybody else said is not possible. And so we're operating from an environment of this can happen rather than that'll never happen. And I don't ever want those words to come out of our mouths. So that's the type of leader I'd like to be, known as like 20 years from now, you know what, Scott always said it was possible, and it was. Right? That's fun to me.
Yeah. Well, and Daniel said something that I really liked, instilling confidence in others, and it reminded me of something that you said in our other leadership class about refreshing others. That when people come here, they should be gaining energy from here, not feeling sapped of it. And I really like that. I really want people to be able to come in here and come into my office and come to work and to their desk and feel recharged and feel excited about life and not like, oh, another day. I really want them to feel energetic and excited about something and feel like they're working towards something big and that they're doing something good that's for something bigger than them. And that to me is the ultimate goal, is to really let people feel the energy coming from me and feel like I'm recharging them instead of I'm sapping energy out of them. And 'cause we know I'm not getting any energy, so I'm not recharging myself that way. But I do feel so much more energy coming in here. It's hard to have a bad day when we come in and your team's pushing you to be excited and happy. And I try to be in a bad mood, and Daniel's over there, making faces at me and picking on me, and Jason's doing his dance, and Sophia and Yami and everybody with their big smiles, and Yoli. I mean, it's hard to be in a bad mood whenever you got a team like that. So I want the whole team to feel the same way, that you can't come in a bad mood and you don't feel drained. This is a place to go recharge. So I like that.
Good stuff. That's why I love these meetings. It is. To me, I have once said it's my Bible study. I come in here and I get fed, and I also draw the energy of everybody. It feels good coming to work. I love my job. So, okay, well, achieving results as a leader, we covered that, and we can go ahead and wrap it up. Okay, and I just would like for everybody to know that no matter what position, your title, or what you have going on in your life, at some point you are a leader. And I just pray and ask that everybody going into this new year, somehow you take someone up under your wing and you be a leader to them. You lead and guide them into a right direction so that they can have awesome results. Okay, y'all have a blessed day.
Good job.
That's awesome.